In this video, we will delve a bit deeper into climate data. As we've seen in previous videos with plot settings and using this map, we can retrieve climate as well as soil data. By default, you can select a reference climate, which can be tropical or temperate, whatever you like. Now, I would like to check it out for a specific region of interest, and let's check it out for Wageningen. So by creating a polygon in this map, I retrieve climate data as well as soil data specifically for this region. Now it's important to select plot location to make sure that it is connected to your polygon in the map. Now you might wonder where this climate data comes from. It is retrieved from CMIP 6 at Copernicus, and Copernicus is the European Union's Earth Observation Program. CMIP 6 is the latest phase of an ongoing effort to compare and evaluate climate models. Now you can select different climate scenarios, and the SSP-RCP framework is used, which is a set of scenarios to explore different possible futures of climate change. The scenarios combine socio-economic pathways, for which this SSP stands for, with specific levels of greenhouse gas emissions, for which this RCP stands. SSP represent future pathways of human development, including population growth, economic development, energy use, technology adoption, social attitudes, things like that. RCP represent levels of radiative forcing, which is a measure of how much energy the atmosphere traps and to what extent it will lead to climate change. The higher the RCP value, the more significant the greenhouse gas emissions and the greater the potential future climate change impacts. In this user interface, you can select zero climate change and then the historic climate is modeled. You can also select SSP2 RCP 4.5, which is a scenario in which emissions peak in 2040 and then start to decline. You can also select, for example, SSP5 RCP 8.5, which is known as the worst case scenario, and emissions continue to increase without significant mitigation efforts. Then we also have SSP3 RCP 7.0, which is a scenario in between. Now what we can do is have a plan and compare it for different climate scenarios. So for example, if I start with SSP2 RCP 4.5, and then for this region, I submit it. And then I get a message that I have not selected any trees or crops, but at this point I'm only interested in the climate. So we can see rain and temperature. Temperature will make a bit more sense over the months, because now you can see the seasons for potential evapotranspiration, which is important for water demand and for radiation. Now what we can do, for example, is if we check it for the years, and then we select SSP5 RCP 8.5. Then here we see rainfall data, and now we see it for the different climate scenario, and it has changed. So if we look at this axis, rainfall will decrease according to SSP5 RCP 8.5 compared to this SSP2 RCP 4.5. So the axis is different. We can check it out also for temperature. So here we are at the end. We are around 16, 15 for the maximum daily temperature, which is during the day and night. And if we change it to the worst case scenario, will we see a change? Yeah. And actually it'll be more visible if we only select this part of the axis, and then we see that it slightly increases compared to the SSP2 RCP 4.5 scenario.